Welcome everyone to Read Your World virtual party. A few housekeeping items. I'll give you a second or so to read them. And we're going to go ahead and kick off our celebration with a wonderful theme song by Annie. Thank you so much for this wonderful theme song, and I will let you listen to it now.
Glad you're here. Did you bring your books with you?
I've got a great multicultural book to share.
Me too.
Me 3. Me 4.
Well, then let's get started. Listeners, do you have your books ready? Here we are, gathered on this most auspicious day. Wanna hear what you have to say. Won't you share a good read, a multicultural good read? When you open a book,
yeah.
Tell me, what do you see? Are there protagonists just like you?
I think so.
Are there some that look like me? We each deserve adventure we can relate to. So share your book. Don't be shy, that's why we're here today. 'Cause it's Read Your World. Read your world. Read your world. Hashtag Read Your World. Read your world. Read your world. Try to see through eyes of others, we find empathy, love, and kindness, and so we happily say, Read your world. Read your world. Read your world. Hashtag Read Your World.
Now, isn't that video and that song wonderful? And I think it's so uplifting, especially during these times. So thank you so much, Annie, for this wonderful song, theme song for Read Your World. Okay, so very important about the giveaway. There will be 6 questions for the giveaway. We will be giving away 2 book bundles per question. Super important, in order to participate, you need to click on where it says chat, and then you're going to answer depending on the question. So just a heads up, bundles 7 and 8 are exclusively middle grade and YA and chapter books. You need to respond via the chat feature. For example, question 1, you're going to type in answer number 1, and then the winners will be announced after each question. So you won't have to wait till the end of the party. Hopefully you'll stay, but winners will be announced right after the question. And they will be selected randomly. Liana is going to call out your name. And if you're not present, then we're going to call out another name, okay? So let's just welcome and introduce our virtual party host. We have Mia Wengen. She's our co-founder and president of Read Your World. Annika Ferzani, Language Lizard, platinum sponsor. Megan Sikowski, Learner Publishing Group, also a platinum sponsor. And Heather Amy from Publisher Spotlight, platinum sponsor. And of course, many of you already know our wonderful social media manager, Liana, because she's on Instagram every single week. And yours truly, Francis, your project manager. Thank you so much for being here. And we also want to thank our official Read Your World virtual party sponsor, Makeaway Media with Dee Dee Cummings. Thank you so much. Thanks to her, this party is actually happening today. Thank you. And again, shout outs to our platinum sponsors, Publisher Spotlight, Language Lizard. Our gold sponsor, Third State Books. And our silver sponsors, Quarto, Red Comet Press, Learner. We also have our bronze sponsors, Lee and Low. We also have Jean Walker Harvey. We also have Fabled Film Press, Starbright Books, and Crayola Education. And our corporate sponsors, Magic Blocks and Scholastic. And a huge thank you to our illustrator for this wonderful and beautiful Read Your World poster, which is also the theme of our slide deck, and to Colleen Consavage for that poster, and Federico Arevia for our creative inclusive classroom LGBTQIA+ 2025 classroom kits. And of course, our wonderful co-hosts and global co-hosts, I believe most of them are here present. Thank you so much to Amanda, Eugenia, Rana, Nikita, Maria, Liana, Cloud, Kalir Books, Jody, Ajanta, me, Aditi, and Multicultural Kids Blog, Julie, and from South Africa, from Color of Us, Savenja, and Agatha from Greece. So we also have global co-hosts. And our wonderful author sponsors.
Yes, thank you to our author sponsors. We have Stephanie Wildman, Martha Seif Simpson, Gwen Jackson, Afsane Maradian, Nivola Uya, Ziggy Henwar, Joaquin Camp, and Rahana Daria.
And we also have Josh Funk, Nancy Tupperling, Kathleen Birkinshaw, Gail Majoring, Eugenia Chu, Jonathan Cormer and Molly Murphy, Amanda Hussein Blodgett, and JC Cato and JC2.
We also have Cynthia Levinson, Deanna Huang, Rochelle Melander, Lisa Chong, Lisa Stringfellow, Brunella Castagliole, and Lindsay Rowe Parker, and Terry Catasus Jennings.
And we continue with our wonderful author sponsors, Rachel C. Katz, Tanya Duncan Ellis, Shifa Sargati Safadi, Lisa Rogers, Sylvia Liu, Ava Clark, Teddy Aarons, and Nadine Presley. Thank you so much. Now, Annika, take it away.
Okay, our first question. So as a reminder, put your responses in the chat so you have a chance to win the giveaway. And the first question is, what are the implications of banning inclusive and diverse books in schools and libraries for the development of critical thinking and empathy in students?
So really important. You will have 5 minutes to respond to this question, and I'm going to start my timer now.
So I'll just start as we're waiting for people to comment, but I was just looking at a report from PEN America that in 2023-24, there were 10,000 bans nationwide, which was like a rise of approximately 200%. And that was reflecting over 4,000 books. So this is pretty significant. And we'd love to know your thoughts on what you think the implications are in terms of the development of critical thinking and empathy in students. So again, put their comments in the chat and we can get the conversation started. We'll kind of read out your comments and that may get some further thinking. So,
And while, I'm sorry, Annika, while they're answering, I'm going to show them the book bundle that they can win so it can motivate them some more to answer that question. So this is bundle number 1 and bundle number 2. So if you would like to take a screenshot of it, picture of it, you are more than welcome to do so. But this is bundle number 2 and bundle number 1. So you guys answer A1, so you have a chance to win one of these bundles.
So I already see some answers that I wholeheartedly agree with. Maria said the implication is that kids may not be exposed to other viewpoints, cultures, and people.
I think that's especially true just having grown up and experienced rural communities in those spaces. Like sometimes kids don't always get the chance to travel. And the only times that they do have those kinds of experiences would be through books and to learn. So I think that that's really an important response as well.
I love this. Karen Fisher Golden said that the very act of banning the books models the idea of silencing voices. And I think that's a very strong point to make, that it just makes it seem like that's okay to do in the first place.
Exactly. Eugenia also talks about, obviously, as we talked about, the exposing them to different perspectives, but also preventing them from learning about and empathizing with people who are different or have different backgrounds.
Yeah, the focus on social emotional learning is very important. There's a response saying they may also have a more difficult time developing critical thinking, they may have a more difficult time developing critical thinking and empathy, which are already challenging skills for students to develop. And that's, yeah, very true. Takes a lot of effort and a lot of energy, but books make it fun. Books make it easier.
Exactly. Beth said, Beth Talmage said, if books reflect only the experiences, appearances of students of the dominant culture, they may grow accustomed thinking everyone has the same experience they do. They may simply go deeper into the life experiences of their classmates and neighbors. And I think that's true, because young kids will probably tend to veer with people who are like them, right? So if we're not kind of helping them expand that worldview, that's can be very problematic.
Karen Harbin said, children can't always see themselves or their classmates in their reading without seeing themselves and how people relate to people like them. They don't know that others like them exist. And I think that books becoming windows and mirrors is so important. And so then to have that erasure, and children start to wonder why they aren't seeing themselves in these literary works.
Wonderful. We have 1 minute left, so last chance to answer and participate for a chance to win one of these bundles.
Caitlin's response is so in depth, and I love this part where it says censorship also teaches kids that difficult topics should be avoided rather than discussed, which stunts their ability to evaluate information critically. Yeah, that's very true. Like a subject matter taken and packaged in a way that's formed for kids is so important, and there are so many picture books and young reader middle grades that do tackle those with sensitivity, and it creates a space that's safe for them to explore those areas. And yeah, I think it's a disservice to kids thinking that they can't handle such topics as well. So
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So we're 5 seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and announce our winners. Okay, so guys probably can't hear it, but let me stop it here. Okay. Pause. Wonderful. So let me just, before Liana announces the winners, just wanted to let everyone know that in our website, readyourworld.org, you will find diversity book lists and activities for teachers and parents. You will also find a gallery of all of our free posters, including this year's. And we also are super excited to announce that we have the new, very new, Pedro and Daniel Intersectionality Book Award. So this has been a huge hit. Liana has been following, the shares on social media, and everyone's super excited. And you can get more information on our website on Read Your World. Oh, Liana already shared the link in the website. Thank you, Liana. Okay, and the winners are, Liana, you're muted.
Sorry, I was trying to be fancy and do it from my keyboard, but I guess it didn't work. For book bundle number 1, Caitlin Hayes, and book bundle number 2, Aaliyah H. So if you can please message me, just make sure to message me and not everybody. That's Leanna, with your address so we can get that off to you. And also Aaliyah, if you make sure to tell me what your last name is, since it's not on the Zoom. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay, awesome. So I need like a little sound like boom, 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 but it's a little bit too much, but I think the hands are good. Karen Fisher, Golden, thank you. So yeah. Okay, so let's continue. Question number 2, Heather.
Yes. What are some strategies for introducing inclusive and diverse books to students, especially in classrooms where book bans may arise? So remember to write A2 in your responses. That way we know this question.
Wonderful. We're starting the timer now, 5 minutes to respond. And I will show you, well, I'm gonna leave the question here for a minute so everyone can see it. And then I'll show you the book bundles.
I'll say one way that I've seen, and a publisher that's really good about this, is Toon Books, by introducing a lot of diverse and inclusive titles in an intro to graphic novel style. I think that makes it really accessible to younger groups, and it's such an easy and accessible way to get kids interested in these things.
Okay, so here's while everyone's thinking about their responses. This is bundle number 3 and bundle number 4. Bundle number 3 and number 4.
I'm just going to read one of the first answers here because this is interesting. It says teachers can include information in weekly newsletter about where students can access books outside of school, whether that's from a free online source, a bookstore, or public library. And I know in this day and age, depending on where you live, it can be a little bit, I guess, scary to suggest places where people could get banned books that might be banned in their community or their school. But the nice thing is if it's couched, I think, in a newsletter in general where, hey, we're encouraging reading and you can get all kinds of books in these other places. And I know there are some areas people can, sign up to get banned books for free as well from New York. So I thought that was an interesting answer.
Which was it, New York, that did the online library card for students across the nation? I can't remember which one, or was it Boston?
That's what I'm saying. Maria Attic just said Brooklyn Public Library
Brooklyn,
offers
okay.
the library cards. That's great to know. Thank you, Maria.
I'm just using excerpts from books and poems from verse novels. really great options for including inclusive text.
Well, Cloud shared also, ask friends to donate funds to buy books and fill the local little free library in your area. I wonder how many little free libraries are in your community.
I've seen a lot of them becoming the little band libraries, and that,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And I think where it's safe to do, I think actually talking about the banned books, right? And summarizing the stories, as Eugenia said, encourage students to find them. So it's safe to do that. I think that's a great idea. And even just kids, you know, talking to kids about the topic of banning books. What do they think about that? What do they think, you know, even not addressing the book itself, but what do they think about in a debate style? You know, is it a free speech issue? Is it, you know, to really get them to think about the topic of book banning, and that might extend their interest in it, I guess.
Okay. I see that Melinda has a little free library in her yard. Christabel manages 2 around the schools. That's wonderful.
I see a couple of responses that talk about letting students have some choice in the selections that they make. Julie says, let kids choose one book to pick that serves as a window to someone other than their own culture. Since they are choosing, there may be less pushback from some parents. That's an interesting model to use.
Wonderful. So we're down to 43 seconds. 43 seconds.
Karen mentioned just even sharing book reviews from teachers and students, which I think is great. It's so simple, develops interest in it.
Yeah, there are some student-led review newsletters and things that go out from libraries and schools, and so it's like they're getting their own peers' thoughts back on it, and I think that's it could be more influential than even some of the professional review journals. So
Oh, the kids book buzz, those are my favorite reviews to read because
yeah,
they're to the point. They know their books.
All righty, we're up with the time, so let me stop it. And before Liana mentions or announces our winners, let me just move this out the way. This is bundle number 3 and number 4. And I also wanted to mention that some of the other resources that we have, and many of you are familiar with it. It is our Instagram Live series, and you can go to the website and you can find a list of all the authors and publishers that Liana has interviewed. And we also, throughout the year, host different events, not only Read Your World virtual party, but we also host Heritage Month virtual events. We had Pride Month last year, Hispanic Heritage Month the year before that, and we also had Bilingual Child Month as well. Okay, and the winners.
All right, for bundle number 3, we have Gabby Slonky or Slonk, and for bundle number 4, Julie Ditton. If you could message me with your addresses, that would be great, so we can get those to you. Congratulations.
Wait, congrats. Okay. Just a minute, because I'm trying to keep up with the chat and looking at all your beautiful faces. So let's continue. Now, question number 3, Megan.
yes. So question number 3. How do inclusive and diverse books help students see themselves reflected and see others that are not like them?
And we have 5 minutes. We're going to start right now. And while you are all thinking, let me show you bundle number 5. I'll leave it up here so you can take a picture if you're interested. And bundle number 6. Bundle number 6 and bundle number 5.
Can I see the question again?
Oh, yes, will do. Thank you.
Quiet on the chat right now. Gotta
I
enter to
know.
win.
No. And I actually thought this was one of the easiest one compared to question number 1 and 2.
It's a thought-driven question. I think there are a lot of factors that can go into it.
Definitely.
I mean, I just think it's so common for students to not necessarily pick up the book that doesn't reflect them, So I really think that when they're exposed to that, like one of the other questions talked about, I always put, new ones up on a shelf, like kids might then get more drawn to it, or you put it in their hands, etc. And then of course the kids themselves being able to see that their culture is in there is so meaningful. But we've got some responses now, so.
Okay.
So let's see, Shanta says students may not have the ability to be exposed to different cultures in their communities. Books offer a way to travel away from the home and learn about others who don't live in their communities. Exactly. I think there's such a variety depending where you live. You could be exposed to a lot or very little in some cases, so the books can make a big difference.
I love this. Yeah. Melinda Madigan's just saying it again, the windows, mirrors, and doors. That's what we love to see, especially in Kid Lit.
This response from, I think it's Ina. You identify with some characters and dive into the story and let your own fantasy and pictures run. You become part of the story, which I think is like to find that belonging is really important.
And I think what Krista mentioned, we talked about a little before, but about reading about something that they haven't been through opens their view to be more empathetic and understanding. So I just think, and I know this question isn't specifically about banned books, but I think that's, some of the ones that have been banned, I think are really have provided opportunities for people to maybe understand difficulties and problems that kids are going through and develop empathy, even if they're not going through it themselves. So it's kind of heartbreaking to see when they're not available.
I love this. Laura Rodiger, I hope I said that right, said children notice how similar characters are to them, whether it's the experiences or the culture. And I think that that's such a great point, is that, what is it? You unite by your differences and find out how similar you actually are. Like everyone's more alike than they even know. Such a great point.
Donna, I love that the books on your bookshelf that you're rotating weekly are falling apart, and that makes you happy. That's great. See, there is interest in these books, right? Even though the kids are so addicted to their screens, they still love books.
And so we have 45 seconds, but I want to jump in right quick and mention Dalia Mustafa, Inclusive and Diverse Books to Help Students by One, Representation. They reflect students' identities, fostering belonging. Number 2, Empathy. They promote understanding of different perspectives. Number 3, Cultural Awareness. They introduce various cultures, encouraging respect. Critical Thinking, that's number 4. They challenge stereotypes and spark discussions, much needed today. Role models, number 5, they provide inspiration through overcoming challenges. And number 6, community building. They encourage conversation that connect peers. Thank you so much, Dalia. And our time is up. Okay, so let me go ahead and move over here. Wonderful. So this is bundle number 5 and number 6. And before we announce our winners, we also have our classroom kits. This was promoted mid-year before the start of the school year around summertime. So if you have not downloaded your classroom kit, I'll give you a minute to scan this QR code and download that classroom kit for you, okay? Oh, and Liana also shared the link in the chat. So if you can't get the cell phone to scan the QR code, you could click on the link in the chat. And yes, classroom kits are free. They're wonderful wealth of resources from authors, publishers, book lists, huge book lists. Okay. And Liana, the winners are?
For book bundle number 5, Brooke Noble. And for book bundle number 6, Destiny Lawyer.
Hey, congratulations.
So go ahead and message me, Leanna, with your addresses. Thank you.
And we're going to question number 4. Annika.
Okay. How can teachers create an inclusive classroom environment using inclusive and diverse books as tools for dialogue and learning? How can parents, guardians, and/or caregivers do this as well? And as we're waiting for answers, I will just kind of put a little plug here, and on Language Lizard's site, we've actually developed a lot of free resources that people can download to go through issues of inclusivity, diversity, empathy, understanding, etc., and full lesson plans that practicing teachers have written that go together with books, but the resources themselves are all free. So that should help parents as well as teachers.
Okay, so we started our timer.
So Maria said, I'll start off with her comment, just by reading diverse books, teachers and parents are creating an inclusive environment. So make sure your classroom, library, and bookshelf at home has lots of diverse books.
The availability is, yeah, just having something nearby that you can grab. Yeah, helps with reading.
And Tom said book talks, author visits, projects using inclusive books. Exactly.
I love this. Gabby said, use the books as tools to promote dialogues. We love that. Books that engage conversation. That's a huge deal. Asking open-ended questions that encourage the students to contribute to conversations. If you can get them talking about books, you can, it just opens it up right there.
I'm going to jump in and read Melissa King's chat of her response. She's a school librarian and she's had several family book club nights where they focus on a holiday and holiday traditions and share books about them. I think that's a wonderful idea. I love that. Thank you, Melissa.
Is it like family book, if I may ask a question, is like family book club nights where it's like the parents and the kids come in? That's beautiful. That's a lovely practice. What a way to get parents involved.
We've worked with a few schools that do like family literacy nights, etc. And even if they have kids from like different language cultures, they'll put bilingual books in there. And they're great events.
Oh, that's lovely.
Wonderful.
I just want to jump in and remind everybody, Francis, correct me if I'm wrong, that these book bundles are for the middle grade and YA young adult books. So if you want those, be sure to comment on this question.
Yes, you are correct. So because I got just excited with that question, I forgot to share the bundle. Number 7 is YA middle grade chapter books. So if you guys want to take a quick picture, just in case, that's number 7 and number 8. And very important, it is only, unfortunately, because of cost of shipping, only available for US addresses, okay? But these are our bundles, 7 and 8.
Let's see.
I just want to point out something Shanta said, because I think this is really interesting. So she's saying she frequently has the students discuss and analyze how a character has developed and changed over time, and has the kids make text to self connections to begin the dialogue. But also, and this is what I especially love, she said, teachers can send home a question for families to discuss based on what's being read in class. And
Mm.
that's something I know we're really big in our lesson plans, is always try to have something that gets the parents, the kids and the parents engaged together. Because that's, really helpful and kind of continues the learning into home.
But Donna patrons also kind of hit that note, the share resources with the parent and have a reflections homework where they provide questions for the dinner table. I love that idea, just sitting around the dinner table talking about.
Yeah.
Miriam's got another response kind of like that, where it's set up bookshelves with diverse books and rotate those books weekly, read those books aloud, and have a sign out list so parents can borrow and read at home too. So they've got a little bit of an access, and so what kids are learning. And I love the read aloud. I think that reading aloud to even like middle graders or young adults in high school, I think that's so important, especially whenever you can sort of have that in class conversation as you're going through the book. Yeah.
That's a great point, Megan, because we kind of forget. We get all excited with picture books for elementary age of kids, but we forget the middle schoolers, and they like read alouds too. They may not say it, but they do enjoy it.
They do.
Wonderful. So I got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Our time's up. And let's continue. And continue with our resources before Liana announces the winner. We also have free diverse book for reviewers, which is essential part of Read Your World Day. So without our reviewers, we're not able to actually have this. So we're so thankful for you guys. So yes, we have free diverse book for reviewers and free diverse books for classroom programs and homeschool and diverse kid book list and activity kit as well. And Liana, the winners are?
For book bundle number 7, Melissa King, and book bundle number 8, Angela Lenz. Please message me with your addresses. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Awesome. Congrats to the winners. And now question number 5. Heather.
What are your top inclusive and diverse book recommendations for fostering inclusion, empathy, and understanding in classrooms?
Oh, we love this question.
Let me hear your books.
I do love this question.
Books to read with this question.
Okay,
Now,
so the time begins now.
Francis, just to make sure, because I'm going to be sitting here writing down as quickly as possible, but I'm sure that, there will be others that I miss. Are these books that are being recommended going to be collected somewhere for everybody to see later?
Because this is being recorded, it also records a chat conversation. And we did this I think it was last year we did this because there were so many great recommendations. So what I did was copy and paste it and shared it in our blog and our website and a blog.
Oh, Nada coming out strong with 2 of my favorites, Fry Bread and Watercress. I love both of those titles immensely.
And then Mia also mentioned that our Big Giant Linky for this year, we have so many great books. Please check it out, okay? So I'll share the link towards the end, but we have so many great books that were being reviewed for this year's Read Your World Day.
Oh, I saw a perfect match go by. Thank you for recommending that one. I love that one. It's one of our Carbon titles.
Oh, Brooke Noble said Grandma's Tiny House. I love it. My favorite, I have the audio of that through Live Oak Media, and that's one of my favorite audio books. Just makes you feel at home.
Hard questions. The list is so long, right?
I see Big by Vashti Harrison. Can't go wrong with the Caldecott winners.
I'm amazed I haven't read Grandma's Tiny House, and it's come up multiple times in this chat, so obviously I need to get it on my list.
Front Desk by Kelly Yon. Audiobook made me boohoo cry on a walk. Shahan Miller. Oh my goodness. I don't think I want to do too much crying right now.
That's a good cry though. That's like a cathartic.
We just get it our system.
Yeah, get it out.
Somebody mentioned Same Page. a great book about book banning. Yeah,
Hmm.
there's some good books about that, which I think is so interesting right now because it's just been such a big topic.
Nada said El Defo too. Nada, we've got to join like a book club or something because we have very similar tastes. I love this.
I do love anything by Grace Lynn. Such beautiful books.
Well, we have a lot of recommendations coming down here. Okay.
Freedom Summer sounds interesting. Based on closing a neighborhood swimming pool because of the Civil Rights Act. Wow, this is happening in our community. I know we're seeing things in our community that we haven't seen in a while.
And while everyone is commenting and chatting with their favorite books, let me show you bundle number 9 and bundle number 10. 9 and 10.
Oh, Something Happened in Our Town, Della. That's such a powerful book. Good recommendation. Oh, and Grandma's Tiny House in the Name. Great recommendations.
Oh, Karen, thanks for letting me know. I didn't know she had another one coming out soon. Grace Lynn. I'll be on the lookout for that.
Okay. Oh, I like this one. Aditi shared, My Name Is Not Refugee. That's a great one.
Who's that one by?
Aditi, can you share who's the author? My Name Is Not Refugee.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I'm pulling it up now.
And for disabilities and disorders, The Golden Bee and Dog Driven.
I think it's Kate Milner.
Kate Milner, yeah.
Okay, she said, does it? Oh, you guys found it. She was responding. She couldn't remember, but I remember the title.
Oh, Amanda, great recommendation with We Sing from the Heart.
Of course. Awesome. Okay, Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson, Stacey Ashton. Okay. I can't wait to put this book list together and share it on our website.
Great.
All righty, so 3, 2, 1, and our time ends now. Okay. Bundle 9 and 10. And remember I mentioned earlier the big giant linking. If any of you here present are participants in our Read Your World virtual party bar are also book reviewers and you still haven't uploaded your review, you can go ahead and scan this QR code and add your review. And if you're looking for book recommendations, still scan the QR code so you can check out all those awesome, great titles. I'll give you a minute. Liana shares the link in our chat as well. Wonderful. And now the winners, Liana?
Yes, for book bundle number 9, we have Narayan Kulkarni, and book bundle number 10, Donna Patron. So text me or message me with your addresses. Congratulations.
Wonderful. Okay, so now question number 6. We are, it's 9:46. We have like 14 minutes to go. I promise you guys, we will not keep you after, well, I'm in the East Coast, and let me tell you, after 10 p.m., I am no good. So I can be your host here today. So we're going to be wrapping it up quickly. So please stay till the end because we also have a survey that we need you guys to complete. So it's just like 4 or 5 questions. Okay, so next question.
All right, question number 6. How can educators and parents work together to challenge book bans and promote access to diverse and inclusive kid lit? And while people are responding in the chat, I will share one of the initiatives that Learner Publishing Group has begun over the past year and a half. We actually teamed up with local artists in the Twin Cities, specifically local musicians, and one of our coworkers, Leo Lerner, he is part of bands and was able to coordinate an event at First Avenue, 7th Street entry, where all the proceeds went towards different organizations that are fighting book bans. And we had a lovely turnout. Turns out that, people who were invested in free speech also love music. So they came out and supported that initiative. And we think that we'll continue it, but it was something that was a celebratory experience, which isn't often associated with book bans. So we wanted to bring the community together in a different way. So yeah, I would highly recommend trying to cross promote across different genres.
Absolutely. That's awesome what you guys are doing. And also people, a few people are mentioning going to school boards and how, they tend to hear a lot from the, say Moms of Liberty, whatever the book banning groups are. And those sometimes tend to be the most vocal. I know in our own community, I had to do that quite a bit of time at school boards to try to get a textbook to not be banned. And unfortunately, it was the numbers that were on the school board. It didn't happen that year. However, we brought so much attention to the matter that the following year, new people were elected in that were no longer going to support that kind of thing. So sometimes it takes a year, but I think the school board meetings, things like that do have an impact.
Yeah, that's so important. Even my small little Tennessee county right now, we're fighting over 160 books that are being challenged. And
Wow.
the school board they hired a committee of very educated and knowledgeable librarians to review the books and are not taking their recommendations to heart. And I think they're motioning to ban them before they even finish saying the title. So it's really, really important to get up and speak out. And I've seen lots of parent-child duos like speaking. So that's been really magical to see these kids standing up and fighting for books.
That's amazing. And then supporting, unfortunately, a lot of times it has to go to the courts. I know there was some, there's some freedom to read advocates, and they've had some success even in places like Alaska, where they challenged it and they won in court. But that unfortunately gets expensive and it's hard to do everywhere. But if we have enough of that momentum to kind of fight against the book banning, I think that's helpful too.
I love all of the resources that are being shared in the chat. The Unite Against Book Bans was one. I will add to also check out Every Library. They are an organization that focus on the legislative and the court side of things. They have a lot of resources that can be shared, and then also a lot of record keeping of which counties are doing what. So I would check them out too.
That's great. Yeah. And I love this. Destiny said her students are doing activism projects on a topic of their choice. Says a few students chose stopping book bans and diversifying classroom libraries. Students advocating and bringing awareness helps to spread the word. And I think that's so true, because I think if we had more of the kids there, and other people are saying have them speak up at the school board meetings. And I know our governor has even suggested letting students 16, 17, 18 years old vote in school board meetings, because I think it's really not the kids who are having the problems with these books, it's the adults. So.
Thank you so much, Annika. So our time is up for our question number 6. Okay, let me just move this here. This is bundle number 11 and 12. And the winners, I'll give Leon a minute. If she needs a minute, you're good. Okay.
Book bundle 11 is Krista Bell, and book bundle 12 is Herbrina Shepherd.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Perfect. So, okay, so now before, we finish up and wrap up our virtual party, I want to thank all the authors and publishers for their generous donation of books. The ones listed here, actually, they sent books out for our Read Your World party. So most of the books that are given out in the bundles are from these authors and publishers, and some that we had left over from last year as well. So thank you so much. And then this is the survey, but before we jump onto the survey, apologies. I wanted to give a shout out to our reviewers. This year we've had over almost 900 reviewers without all of the reviewers, because I think one of our virtual parties, someone said, well, you guys don't really mention anything about the reviewers. So here we are acknowledging you, thanking you for, taking these books in. And I think I've emailed a couple of you like, hey, can you review this book that I just got last minute from an author or publisher? Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Without you guys, simply Read Your World, they wouldn't be happening, because the reviewers are you. And we also want to give a special thank you to our super reviewers. I sent an email out to them, so they should have already received it. And before we wrap it up tonight, I wanted to mention that we're also part of the Facebook fundraiser. So it's not just for birthday. So just keep us in mind. And also our fundraiser ends tonight. So last minute, if you decide you would like to donate to Read Your World to help keep our kids reading, you can scan this QR code. But let me go back to our survey. We're like 6 minutes out. So if you can please scan this QR code. Liana, I think she's gonna share the link in the chat. And it'll just take you like 1 or 2 minutes, a quick 5 questions. And most importantly, in the survey, we need to know what theme or topic we should discuss, or we should have our classroom kit for next year, for actually this coming year, upcoming school year. So I'll leave it there. So you can scan the QR code. It'll take you but a minute, and then I'll leave this one here for a second as well. Oh, sorry, getting a little click happy for this fundraiser. It ends tonight. And of course, thank you so much. If any of you are on any of these social media platforms, please give us a follow. And I'm pretty sure most of you already do. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you for celebrating with us. Thank you for keeping the conversation going. Because honestly, without you guys and the support of our authors, publishers, reviewers, hosts, co-hosts, this would not be happening today. So thank you so much. We really appreciate you. So let me do the stop share. Heather, Megan, Liana, Annika, and Mia, if you guys can stay for a quick minute right after we're done here.
For sure.
And everyone else, have a good night or a good afternoon, wherever you're at. And thank you so much.
And congratulations to all the winners. I have all of your addresses. So if you message me, I got it. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy Read Your World Day.
Good night.
Good night.